What do Coachella and the discovery of language have in common? I'll give you a hint. It starts with an I and wants you to run, not walk, to the latest TikTok trend. Did you get it? Influencers. Now, it might sound a little far-fetched to compare Coachella to the discovery of language, but both rely on the necessary role that influencing plays to push ideas forward. The concept of influencing has technically been around since the prehistoric age, millions of years ago. From the discovery of fire, to inventions like writing, to HelloFresh ads literally everywhere. But before we jump in, I just want to make it very clear that this is not at all a critique on influencers or influencer culture. I've actually worked in influencer marketing for the last 4 or 5 years, so I know firsthand how impactful and effective it can be. I'm more approaching this from my own curiosity about how influencer marketing has gotten to where it is today, and most importantly, where I think it's headed. All right, let's get started. You might associate influencers with YouTube sponsorships, lavish brand trips, endless gifts, and PR boxes. But influencers have actually been around for ages, playing roles in areas like religion, politics, art, and science. Take Isaac Newton, for instance, whose gravity discovery in 1687 still shapes our understanding of physics centuries later. Now, Newton obviously didn't have an Instagram to share his revolutionary discoveries, but through his writing and lectures, he helped inspire many great thinkers, including Albert Einstein, Voltaire, and Immanuel Kant. Or let's go even further back to the Renaissance, where artists like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci were renowned for their extraordinary talents. Da Vinci even had his own follower base called the Leonardeschi, made up of students and artists who were directly influenced by his techniques and helped to further spread his influence across Italy and the rest of Europe. Think of modern-day fan bases like Swifties or Barbs. Though Newton and Da Vinci can technically be considered influencers, it's obviously very different from how we look at influencers today. They weren't paid to endorse a product or idea. Rather, they were already influential people whose ideas and actions were widely adopted. It's really in the late 19th and early 20th century, following the Industrial Revolution, that we start seeing a shift in commercial advertising. The first person to endorse a commercial product was actress Lily Langtry, who in 1882 appeared in a print advertisement for Pear soap, kickstarting a trend that would explode throughout the 20th century. The rise of radio and television marked the golden age of advertising and thrived alongside industries like entertainment, news, and sports, which were cementing themselves into American culture. Brands like Coca-Cola and Marlboro featured well-known figures in their advertisements, both fictional and real, to help establish a strong brand identity. And as brands got bigger, so did the celebrity endorsements, with superstars like Marilyn Monroe and Elizabeth Taylor modeling in print ads and starring in commercials for various products like shampoo and even chocolate. As marketing continued to evolve, brands collaborated even closer with beloved celebrities, not just using them to endorse products, but to create new lines of products. Take Nike's launch of Air Jordans in 1985, or home appliance company Sultan debuting the George Foreman grill in 1994, named after the highly esteemed boxer. And endorsements were not only successful commercially, but also in areas like politics and healthcare. Elvis Presley's televised polio vaccination in 1956 directly led to the increase of vaccination rates among young Americans, from under 1% to 80%. While Frank Sinatra's endorsement of JFK helped Kennedy win the 1963 presidential election. The rise of media and pop culture throughout the 20th century, alongside the explosion of American consumerism, especially after World War II, transformed marketing from boring print ads and black and white newspaper clippings to both an art and a science. The spread of sponsorship deals, product placements, and endorsements would eventually pave the path for the influencers of the 2000s. So what exactly changed between the 20th and 21st century? The rise of the internet.
Can you explain what internet is?
Internet is that massive computer network.
In the 20th century, fame was mostly reserved for athletes, politicians, and movie stars, which meant that brand deals and sponsorships were out of reach for the average person. But in the 21st century, virtually anyone could build a following with the right niche, content, or demographic, thanks to the rise of the internet. In the early 2000s, blogs were a primary way to grow an audience online, from mommy bloggers to world travelers to gossip forums. A few years later, we saw the rise of social networking sites like MySpace, Facebook, and Tumblr, making it even easier to share ideas and connect with people on a wider scale. Influencers emerged in the form of musicians, artists, content creators, and online personalities, but it wasn't until Instagram's rise to fame in 2010 that we really started seeing influencers pop up in the way that we know them today. After Facebook acquired Instagram in 2012, new paid ad features began rolling out, taking it from just a photo sharing app to one of the biggest advertising platforms in the world. And as more people signed up for the app, brands began shifting their marketing budgets from traditional channels like TV and direct mail into Instagram, further establishing itself as an advertising giant. I want us to take a moment to appreciate these two charts over here. On the left, you can see that in the early 2010s, television made up almost a third of total advertising spend in the United States. Fast forward to the 2020s, and online advertising completely dethrones television in advertising spend. Now, there's many reasons for these shifts, such as rise in streaming services and direct mail getting phased out by email, but social media plays a significant role. Brands realized very quickly that they could easily target specific audiences by collaborating with content creators and at cheaper rates than traditional celebrity endorsements, which require photographers, studios, makeup artists. This also helped build authenticity around these kind of partnerships since they were still considered novel at the time. Today, there are a ton of different types of influencer partnerships, ranging from pay-per-post, where brands pay a flat fee for a shout-out on their Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. Affiliate links, where creators can earn commission every time a sale is made through one of their links. Podcast reads, which are similar to pay-per-post but an audio-first channel. UGC, which stands for user-generated content and is often used for paid ads and to help boost organic engagement. And product placements, which are more subtle than a full-length ad, but still very effective. And of course, there are other influencer activations, some of which we already mentioned, like gifting, brand trips, and ambassadorship, where a creator will exclusively use and advocate for your product for a period of time, both online and offline. We are seeing influencer investments in the billions on channels like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram that is expected to grow nearly 65% in the next 3 years. Social media aside for a moment, traditional celebrity endorsements are also alive and well in every single industry. From phones to perfumes to cars and credit cards, virtually every big corporation has collaborated with the pop culture figure to some capacity. Every time you turn on the television, there's a new athlete featured in a Subway commercial, or another actor selling Allstate insurance. Or even take the 2024 Super Bowl, for example, where celebrities starred in more than 50% of Super Bowl ads. Though TV viewership has gone down with the rise of streaming services, I don't see commercial endorsements going away anytime soon, especially as brands approach partnerships more holistically, hiring celebrities as ambassadors and creative directors, and using the content across all channels, not just TV. In summary, the internet has made it easier than ever to amass a following. The way we consume media has completely evolved, pushing brands to approach their marketing very differently, all of which has led to a surge in content creator turned influencers on social media. This doesn't replace traditional celebrity endorsements, rather it offers brands more sponsorship options and expands the pool of influencers available. And now to the fun part. This would not be a Lunari video without some mention of artificial intelligence, and you best believe that artificial intelligent influencers are coming. We've already seen a rise in virtual influencers in the last few years. They're not real people, rather they are computer-generated avatars that look real, almost too real.
We want the quality to be that people are not able to tell if it's real or not, but we want to disclose that this character is virtual.
I'm sure no matter how hard we try, there's people who might look at some of the images that we create and think, wow, that's a real person or that's a real model.
One of the first virtual influencers, Lil Miquela, came out in 2016 and quickly went viral, getting millions of followers seemingly overnight. Aside from making music, interviewing various celebrities, and showing off her trendy, colorful fashion, she's also landed a ton of brand deals with names like Calvin Klein and Samsung. And she's not the only one. India's first virtual influencer, Kyra, launched back in 2022 and also has an impressive portfolio of brand deals ranging from L'Oreal to Budweiser. With growing demand and popularity for virtual reality and the metaverse, which I cover extensively in this video, I think we're going to see more companies use virtual influencers in their branding and marketing. And it's not that crazy considering a lot of brands already use mascots and fictional characters in their advertising. But I think one of the biggest differences between something like Lil Miquela and the Geico lizard, for example, is that one is clearly cartoony and fictional, while the other aims to look as real as possible, almost uncanny. There's still good reason to explore this strategy. Virtual influencers are way more cost-effective and mitigate a lot of the risk that comes from working with real people. They're designed by a team of copywriters, developers, and marketers. It's highly controlled and very produced. Another popular trend we're seeing more of are VTubers, short for virtual YouTubers. It works by pairing real creators in motion capturing technology that allows them to animate a digital avatar with their movements and expressions. Largely popular on Twitch, many VTubers also land sponsorship deals similarly to normal creators. Let's take it even a step further and, of course, add artificial intelligence to the mix. I definitely see a possibility where virtual influencers operate autonomously using AI. With natural language processing and machine learning algorithms, these AI influencers could analyze audience preferences and follow trends across social media and even competitors to generate engaging, relevant content. Just the other week, TikTok announced it may be launching a new feature that would allow advertisers to use AI avatars in their ads. I believe it's still in beta, but even just the consideration shows an overall shift in this direction. Another trend that I think we'll be seeing more of is the licensing of celebrity images, voices, and names in advertisements in exchange for fees and royalties. Instead of going through the hassle of organizing a live shoot, advertisers can create highly realistic content featuring these celebrities with the help of AI and machine learning without them ever having to actually meet in person. This can turn into a very slippery slope, especially with the recent controversy around deepfakes circulating online. Deepfakes are videos or images that have been non-consensually altered to make someone appear to say or do something they didn't actually do. It is incredibly malicious and dangerous, especially when it leads to the spread of misinformation. However, as regulations become stricter and technology advances, I do see a world where brands and influencers can establish ethical and responsible licensing partnerships.
The AI avatars you'll find in Synthesia are all digital twins of real actors. They have a contractual agreement with Synthesia to provide their likeness for business-related videos only. A team of content moderators makes sure that nobody breaks the rules, so it is impossible to spread misinformation, disinformation, or obscenity through videos created in Synthesia Studio.
Blockchain technology is one tool that could be used to prevent deepfakes from circulating online by flagging illegitimate copycats and automatically removing them from the web. Though there's still some risk involved, there is a lot of money in licensing, so I do think people would eventually consider. And lastly, I also think we're going to see a rise in humanoid influencers, robots that represent the brands they work for and make appearances on TV, award shows, commercials, and beyond. It's really effective to attract publicity, especially with it being so new and cutting edge. Sort of similar to how virtual AI influencers operate, only with a physical body. One of the most popular examples of a famous humanoid robot is Sophia, developed by Hanson Robotics. Sophia has been featured on the cover of Cosmopolitan and even landed an interview with Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show. Love them or hate them, influencers are not going anywhere and will continue to evolve as trends and technology do. I'm personally really excited to see where it's going, but let me know your thoughts. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.